And we're gonna get started. Hey everyone, welcome to our September 2025 GovAI Coalition meeting. Thank you so much for being here with us. The GovAI Coalition, at the end of the day, is about empowering our public sector partners, entities, like us here in the city of San Jose, to be able to use AI in a way that supports the public good. I am excited for the conversations that we're going to have today. And I always want to remind folks, if you want to chat with someone, have a conversation with someone, the Zoom chat here is a great place to start those conversations. You can break off new chats. I know they have the features now to be able to have private conversations with groups, whatnot. This is all about building that community with each other to learn from each other and grow from each other. So I invite you all. And at the end of this, if there's any conversations that you want to have with me or with the team, happy to have those. Again, my name is Albert Jahami. I work for the city of San Jose. I've got in the chat, I'll post our link to the slides for today's meeting, along with our newsletter. So take a look at that. And with that, let's get into announcements. So just for those that are new to the coalition, we've got 6 different verticals, places where we really tackle AI and innovation in general in the public sector, from helping people adopt the latest technology responsibly, effectively, finding good applications for it, to actually governing and managing the data underneath that AI. And very excited that our data governance committee just released their template around data sharing, so they'll get to share more about that in a sec. Procurement, a lot of the AI tools that we've got in the government are bought, and let's make sure that those bot tools align with the ideas and goals that we have. Then, of course, there's industry relations, making sure that our vendors are given the support that they need to be able to do well by our public sector. Use cases, actually finding applications for the AI, and of course, community engagement, making sure that we can bring our communities along with us in this journey. Our September newsletter is out. We've got a couple of announcements. Really excited to share both things that we've heard from folks over the last couple of months, and a few great articles that we've seen coming out of Long Beach and a bunch of other folks from the coalition. Our newsletter is a great place for folks to just keep up to date on what's going on around both the coalition and in AI in the public sector and the way that it impacts us. So again, I'll put the link to that in the chat, but our newsletter, it's also on our website and you can take a look at it there. And if you have things that you'd like to add to the newsletter, we're always here open for suggestions. You can see where you can submit things in the newsletter itself. Additionally, our tickets for the GovAI Coalition Summit for this year are live, November 5th through 7th in San Jose, our City of San Jose Convention Center, or McHenry Convention Center. Tickets are on sale. We've got a good group so far. Excited for the couple hundreds of folks that are already registered to attend. We're excited to still have enough tickets for more folks to come in. And while we share a little bit about the summit, I just want to put out a poll. We want to make sure that we're understanding, where folks on this call are at in terms of if they're coming to the summit, if they can or cannot. So I'm just going to put that poll up. If you can answer that one question, that'll be great. We're just trying to understand where folks are at so far in going to it. This will be our 2nd year doing the summit. Last year was fantastic and really excited to host that again here in San Jose. Our agenda is live, so you can take a look at that. And Layla, if you're able to maybe drop a link in the chat to the, oh, perfect, you already got it, to the summit itself. We've got not only the full agenda on there covering things from AI in, just good old fashioned making sure that we're using it responsibly, effectively, strong applications of it, uh, impacts to the environment, how to make sure our AI is sustainable, to things like, hey, what pilots have worked for folks so far and what pilots have not? And how do we learn from those? Um, it's a great space. It's for government. It's by government. And excited. Yes, absolutely. Lunch is provided. Thank you for asking. And we would love to see you all there. One last thing that we can drop in the chat here, we know that a lot of folks are in a space where their travel is hard to justify. There are travel freezes. So if you're looking for a letter to get started to, help push that along and get the ability to be able to come and join us here in the Coalition Summit, we have that. Layla can drop a link to that in the chat. Again, this was truly a incredible experience that we had back in 2024 with our first summit, and we want to make sure that folks have all the abilities they can to come and join us for the second summit. So with that, the last piece I'll say about the summit, thank you, Meg, is we have our town hall, which is one of my favorite parts about it. This is one day we just go from 9 a.m. to a little in the afternoon, where it's just government. No one else, just an opportunity for us as practitioners to talk, shop, share our experiences, plan for what we see as the future of AI, and really be able to just be in a space where it's just government experiencing and sharing those knowledge. We've beyond just basic conversation, you can also join us and sign up for a lightning talk where you share a use case or something that you've done with AI, or a poster fair where folks walk around, we share what you've learned, what you've done. It's a great time. It's where I learned actually a lot of the AI use cases that now I get to think about of applying here in the city of San Jose. So if you're interested, we'll post the form. All this stuff is also links to it are in our newsletter. Um, so if you're able to attend or if you have any questions on it, please don't hesitate to reach out. Um, we want people to be there. This is truly a time for us as government, and our great partners in government or outside of government to be able to chart the course for what innovation looks like. Unfortunately, there is no virtual. It's just it logistically it takes basically putting on a second conference, though we will be recording a few of the sessions and we'll be able to share those out and we'll be able to share some notes out afterwards. So with that, I want to pass it off to Albie, Ryan, and Layla for a conversation that I'm really excited about and some of the fantastic work that our procurement committee has done around a shareable contract initiative for an enterprise LLM RFP that, as we are building it, is intended for agencies across the country to be able to use as we're all trying to solve the problem of what enterprise LLMs make the most sense for our agencies.
Awesome.
Layla, I'll pass it to you.
Thank you so much, Albert. Hi, everyone. I'm Layla Doty, Privacy and AI Analyst at the City of San Jose. And today, like Albert mentioned, I'm joined by my colleagues, Albie Udom and Ryan Maher from the City of San Jose. And today we'll be providing a brief update to the coalition on the ongoing shareable contract initiative that the procurement committee has mentioned over the past few months at these monthly coalition meetings. Next slide, please. So before diving into specifics of the RFP, I want to zoom out and remind this group of the procurement committee's goals and broader vision that really underpin this shareable contract project that we've been working on. And that vision is to explore how the coalition can serve a role in the cooperative purchasing process for AI procurements for our agencies. And the committee really sees coalition-led cooperative purchasing as a key mechanism and perhaps even a frontier in how public agencies can set standards for responsible and ethical AI in the systems that we buy and that we use as governments. And so the high level vision is to identify use cases that are common needs within the coalition. For each of those use cases, identify a lead agency that can really drive that purchase. And then work with responsible AI experts and our membership to ensure that those solicitations embed key considerations around privacy, transparency, equity, security, all those great responsible AI provisions that we want for our systems that we use. And then finally, for these purchases, we also are working to craft contract language, and Albie can speak to this more in a couple minutes, but craft contract language to make the procurement as maximally shareable as possible so that many agencies can leverage the preferred T's and C's and responsible AI language that is in these contracts. So over the past few months, we've been working on the first shareable contract as part of this initiative. And it's been an experiment that we're aiming to learn and grow from for future procurements like this. So we can go to the next slide. Albert, if you could go to the next slide, thanks. So at a high level, these are our goals. One is for the solicitation to provide value to whatever agency is going to be leading that procurement. Second is for that contract to be adopted or leveraged by multiple agencies in the coalition. And then finally, and really importantly, is for that purchase to embed exemplary responsible AI standards that we want to see for effective and responsible AI use in the public sector. Next slide. So, like we mentioned, our team has been working to publish an RFP in the very near future for an enterprise LLM tool. Think like your enterprise version of ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, the like. And this use case was chosen because it's something that in San Jose, we have a real need for. We've been training our staff on how to use generative AI tools effectively and responsibly, and it's been great. There's been a lot of uptake over the past year. Staff have been saving thousands of work hours and creating custom AI assistants to help them with their daily tasks. But what we've experienced is that there are major limitations to the premium but not enterprise versions of these tools that have really restricted what we're able to do in terms of collaboration features and administrative controls. And so, as more and more staff begin to use these tools, there's a real need for a comprehensive enterprise version to scale our use internally. And what I just described, we know is not just something that is a need that San Jose is experiencing, but that many of our coalition agencies are in a similar boat and at the stage of expanding and upgrading their AI tools internally. So we thought that this would be a great use case to really meet the moment for where many agencies are at right now and hopefully provide a lot of value from the resulting contract that's going to have those responsible AI provisions embedded into it. So next slide. So we're seeking an enterprise LLM tool that can support the development of custom AI assistants that can connect with other applications. Some use cases that we see staff using the tool for are document intelligence, productivity boost, all the things that I think this group is pretty familiar with and that we've been talking about a lot in our committee meetings. So we've been hard at work over the past few months to put together these solicitation documents. We've consulted with responsible AI experts with regards to the safeguards that should be in the contract, with regards to what questions we should make sure we ask vendors during the evaluation process. So I'm going to pass it to Ryan now, who's going to share more about what we've done so far for this project, where we're at right now, and what's on the horizon for this procurement.
Thanks, Leila. Um, so as of now, we've started, like Leila was saying, we started drafting the solicitation documents. We have our scope put together, our feature and functionality questionnaire, proposer questionnaire, All those things are in their essentially first or second draft um, versions, and we're looking uh, to set that up for release. I think you can go to next slide. Is that our timeline? Oh, here we go. Oh, and one thing we've done is we gone ahead and we put all those documents out um, to to the AI experts, subject matter experts in the field to get a little bit of feedback, incorporate their knowledge into all of these documents to try to make them as robust as possible, and not only not only build it for concerns that we have now, but concerns that we'll have potentially even in the future, as well as looking at how governments will begin to change how they utilize AI, and as they begin building more off of AI, hopefully they'll also be able to utilize this solicitation in the future. We've also been we've also been building in the shareable language. For that, I'm actually going to turn it over to Albie to discuss what we've done there.
So, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Albie Udom. I am the CPO for City of San Jose. So, with this project, just like Leila mentioned in project goals, what I'm going to speak to very briefly here is the second point, which is to make this wildly adaptable by entities. So what happens, a lot of public agencies do the same thing when it comes to procurement. They buy the same thing, but they all go out to procure them themselves. So the whole idea of cooperative procurement is to be able to pool resources, to be able to leverage each other's contracts, and to be able to cut down on the time and effort we all spend in going out to procure. So one of the things that we're trying to do with this, being the first procurement that's being done under the auspices of GovAI Coalition, is to make it such that any agency within the coalition or even outside the coalition can piggyback or leverage the resulting contract from this. So what does that mean? What it means is that we go out and we do all the work that is involved in procuring the contract, all the competitive solicitation, which we are all required to do as public agencies. So we get that part done, we award contracts, and then the other public agencies on this call, not on this call, what they will then do is go and say, okay, you've awarded this contract, you did a competitive solicitation, we want to be able to leverage that result and use this contract. To be sure, every single agency needs to make sure that their governing body, their rules, their policies allow them to be able to do that, such that they don't violate those rules or policies. So in trying to make sure that this will be widely available and adoptable by as many agencies as possible, what we did was we reached out much earlier in the process and asked folks to tell us what particular unique requirements their agencies might need for them to be able to adapt this contract. We got some feedback. Some people said it had to be published in a local newspaper. Some have to be published in a newspaper. Some said they have to leave it up out there for a certain period of time. And that was all great. Those are things that we've taken on board and we're going to do. There's still time between now and when this is finalized. If anybody has any unique requirements that their agency might need for them to be able, might need to be filled for them to be able to leverage this agreement, please share that with Ryan and I, and we'll be able to work that in. Otherwise, the solicitation, the RFP, the contract will have language that says other public entities can leverage it. The other thing we're also going to try and do with this solicitation to make it also widely accepted is we're not just going to award one contract, we're going to award multiple contracts. So if you don't like one particular vendor, you can use the other vendor. Within your agency too, you can say, okay, well, there are 3 contracts. I'm going to do a mini solicitation between those three vendors to get even better deals. You can always negotiate something within them. So, like I said, idea is to make sure that you will be able to leverage this. You don't have to go out to go start procuring AI tools for this. So with that, I'll turn it back to Ryan, and I'll be available for questions at the end of Ryan's presentation.
So talking about what's next, what we want to do at this point is we're looking to get all of that information piled up together and get it released on our e-procurement system is Bid and Go. So we're hoping to get that released by October 17th. This will give us the ability to potentially have and we're really aiming to have a pre-bid conference during the GovAI Coalition Summit. For those of you who aren't familiar with a pre-bid conference, this is where it gives us the opportunity to meet with some of the vendors who may be submitting proposals to the RFP, provide more of a verbal explanation of what it is we're looking for, answer some questions, and connect with those vendors so that they're more aware of what it is we're trying to procure. It's sometimes a bit hit and miss when it comes to just reading a document, right, on what the intent is, and that helps vendors quite a bit. We're aiming for December 15th as the submittal deadline. That'll be when vendors need to submit their proposal by. This will allow us to do our written proposal evaluations in January, hopefully hold the demonstrations in February, and then again, hopefully release a notice of intended award by April. All of those have some dependencies in them and additional steps that could be injected into the process depending on how the evaluation goes. But this is our fingers crossed, timeline right now that we're working on. And yeah, with that, I'll turn it back over to Layla.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ryan and Albie. I think that's the end of our slides, so we can take a couple minutes in case folks have questions. I see one question in the chat. Where will this be posted? I think you mentioned Bid and Go, Ryan, but in case there's anything else to add there.
City of San Jose's e-procurement system, Bid and Go. It'll be posted. And as Albie mentioned, we're looking at running some print advertisement to make sure that vendors are aware of it. And once it is posted, we'll be sharing where it's posted with the coalition, and you guys can also kind of help distribute it where it's at.
Please help. Yeah, we'll make sure that the coalition knows once this is released for sure.
Layla, can I add something? When this slide was prepared, the pre-bid was still, we didn't know what date it was going to be. I believe we're now filmed on November 7th.
It will likely be the 7th. There's a possibility it'll be on the 6th. So once we confirm that date, we'll let everyone know. Yeah.
Okay. And the idea of doing this around the coalition is that a lot of you guys are going to be here for the coalition, so you might as well come in person to hear from the horse's mouth, as it were.
Exactly. There was another question in the chat I see. Will the resulting contracts eventually be available in a widely available online resource like the Omnia Partners website?
Yep. The intent is anytime we publish a solicitation in conjunction with the coalition, that'll be something that can end up on the GovAI's contract repository. So yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. And Emily, thank you for sharing the link to our coalition's AI contract hub in the chat. That's great. All right. Albert, any other questions that you saw from the audience?
Not that I've seen.
I see one that just came up, and then I think we'll wrap. Where can
Yeah,
we find, where can we find the list of criteria that helps us determine if we can participate in the contract?
Fiona, every public agency has if they let the staff leverage contracts, they will have their own requirements. So it's not a requirement from us. What we're asking you to do is tell us if your agency has any unique requirements that we need to include.
And I see, I see questions coming in to the chat. Layla, Ryan, Albie, I'll leave it to you to reply to them. Feel free to continue the conversation in the chat there. Thank you so much. And sorry, was there anything else that you wanted to say before? Awesome.
Sorry, one more
yeah.
thing. If any public agency wants some information, I saw something about, is there a one pager to share with my agency? And I saw a question, is it about a coalition or is it about cooperative purchasing? If anybody wants some quick and dirty information they can share with their governing body about this, do reach out to Ryan, Leila, or myself, and we'll provide something.
Awesome. And maybe you already did this. Would you be able to put your emails in the chat?
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much, team. And I cannot share how excited I am for this type of cooperative contract. Or we see cooperative contracts come up all the time. It's one of the most powerful levers that we have in being able to streamline our own purchasing process and get the best possible deals and terms that we can get as a government. What gets me really excited about this is how the requirements, the expectations, the contract itself is being built from the ground up by governments together in our procurement committee, navigating this and making sure that we can get some of the best possible results for one of the newest and most innovative, frankly, workplace changing technologies we have seen in a generation. I really invite our government folks on this call and our civil society folks on this call, if you are interested in being a part of both this conversation and our future conversations as we continue to push this shareable contracts initiative, take a look at our meetings calendar. I just posted it in the chat. Take a look at our procurement committee. They are doing some awesome stuff there, and I highly recommend that you go just pop in, listen in, learn from them, see what's going on, and see how you can also be a part of how we are shaping the future of technology and government through the power of purchasing.
Quick plug that the procurement committee is actually meeting tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific. So if you have the bug now and you want to join, tomorrow is a great opportunity to do so.
Perfect timing. So with that, I want to take a moment where we can now share the updates that are happening across our committees. Like I said at the beginning of our meeting today, we got 6 committees, 6 different angles that we are tackling how AI is used for the public good by the public sector. And so we're going to go through each of them and give them the opportunity to share updates, share what's going on. If anything seems interesting to you, don't be afraid to ask questions in the chat, reach out to the folks that are talking, and also take a look at our GovAI Coalition meetings calendar. Download some of those invites and join the conversation directly in the committee meetings. So with that, I'm going to first pass it off to our Community Engagement Committee. We got Meg or Liz on.
Hey, Albert, I'm going to do the committee update today. So hi, everyone. I'm Liz Bueller with Salt Lake City. As Albert said, I co-chair this committee with the amazing Meg Young. For those who haven't had a chance to join us, the purpose of our committee is really to support all of our agencies engaging the public on AI. So if you haven't come to one of our meetings, just so you know, we share this great story, a case study of some amazing engagement work that's happening. It might be from a fellow agency. It might be someone who is doing great research at a university. We spend the first half of the meeting usually inspiring each other on how we can engage the public. And then the second half of the meetings, we sort of work on different things to help build the handbook. So the handbook, the plan is that this will be something for all of us to share and use, so we don't have to reinvent again, just going out, talking to the community. So two things I want to bring up today is one, we are going to have two sessions at the upcoming GovAI Summit. One is reporting out on the committee, but also sharing again these resources and case studies with others. And the second session is actually helping those who attend build an engagement plan. You might be engaging your community on just how your agency is using AI, or you might be ready to involve them on building a new AI tool. So this is really to help you build that plan. Our next meeting is October 16th, so hopefully you will want to join us. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Liz. Again, really excited for what's going on in the Community Engagement Committee. Always a joy. I'll pass it off. Let's see. Do we got Rich Sayer?
You're on
Anyone
the
else on the
line,
call?
Albert.
Perfect, Rich, please.
Hi, everyone. Name is Rich Oppenheim from Regional Government Services. I co-chair the Readiness and Adoption Committee alongside Zahir Noor from the City of Detroit. Our committee really continues to focus on helping agencies prepare for and implement AI responsibly. Some of the big things that are moving in the group right now, we have a very energetic upskilling working group right now that is working on a variety of issues. They are launching 3 playbooks for getting started with AI training, rolling out an education plan, and working with agents and custom GPTs. These playbooks are really designed for agencies at all levels of readiness, with guidance to help teams move forward on upskilling. Additionally, they're working on creating an AI certification curriculum and working on an Ask Me Anything tool, which will help people navigate the resources of the coalition. Jim Brown is continuing his excellent work building out the AI and the fire service courses. This is a 9-course, 8-hour series that he's planned out. Lessons 1 through 3 are available for viewing on the coalition's YouTube channel. And he just recently walked through lesson 4 in our last meeting and gave us a preview on lesson 5. Lesson 4 is centering on document and media generation, and we'll include an evaluation checklist as a resource for that class. So very excited to see that going on. Over in police, Dan Healy has been leading that working group for the committee focused on police in AI. He's created a 1-hour AI 101 for police training course, and he's giving that material a test run in early October at the California Police Chiefs Technology Conference. And then we'll be working with California Post, which is the certification body for police training in California, to certify a 2-hour version of that course that he will be developing out in parallel with that effort. And then further working on an AI toolkit and some model policies specifically focused on AI and policing. And then we also had a guest presentation from Denise Riedel, the Chief Innovation Officer from City of South Bend, Indiana, and she presented on a 3-year AI workforce change management plan, focusing on, not only role and skill level changes, but also looking at organizational level change, performance management change in the age of AI, and cultural change at the organizational level. So very interesting stuff. There was lots of interest in the work group there, and she is interested in forming a small work group to move some issues forward in that arena. And last but not least, as always, Zahir continues to provide personalized support for agencies that want direct help getting started or scaling up their AI journey and accessing the broader coalition's resources. So reach out to her if you would like to have some one-on-one adoption support. Our committee meets twice a month. Welcome to anybody interested getting involved, especially if you're working on internal training or implementation planning. And just a big shout out to those in our committee that are leading specific projects and donating their valuable time to push these forward. And thanks also who regularly come to meetings. The group's participation and feedback make all of our projects more impactful and relevant for our local government audience. So thanks for everybody's work.
Thank you so much, Rich. Thank you to you and Sayer and Sabra for running the show on this side of things. Really, the work that the educational tools that folks have put out are awesome. And I cannot stress enough, there's something really interesting and valuable about being able to have government staff build the education that they wish they had when they were first getting into it. And I think that's something that's very powerful in its own right. And again, cannot stress enough, as Rich said, if you or your agency are like, oh my gosh, this GovAI Coalition, there's too many things, I don't know where to get started. Not only have Rich and Sayer put together a starter video that you can see on our YouTube channel, but also Sayer offers that one-on-one adoption support that is just, it's truly a gift. So thank you again. All right, I'll pass it off to our procurement committee. I know you guys just had a lot of conversation, but um, let's see, is Emily, Layla, anyone want to provide updates there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Albert.
Hey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emily Royal. I am the co-chair of the procurement committee. Our mission is to advance the standard for responsible AI procurements, incentivize markets to adopt those standards, and support better terms and pricing for GovAI members. Obviously, our biggest update was shared at the top of the hour with our shareable contract initiative. I just want to give kudos to everyone who has contributed to that effort, the subject matter experts that we looped in to support it, obviously the incredibly innovative and forward-thinking procurement team at the City of San Jose, my previous co-chair, Kimberly Barnard, lots of folks who were involved in developing that concept and launching it, and I'm really proud and excited to see the results. Couple updates. I have transitioned to a new role. I have left the City of San Antonio. I am now Assistant Director at Partners for Public Good, overseeing the Procurement Excellence Network. So I am now dedicated much more full-time to procurement in my role, which is super exciting, very nerdy. But anybody who is operating in the procurement space, especially as it relates to AI, please come find me and chat with me. Very excited to collaborate and continue collaborations with the GovAI Coalition in my new capacity. Additionally, I would like to announce a new co-chair who's joining us, Aaron Bushman, who is the procurement and contract specialist at Colorado OEDIT, and I would like to invite him to come off mute and maybe share a little bit about what that acronym means and a little bit about Aaron. Hey, Aaron, are you on the call?
He's on the call. I think he just came off mute. Oh, I can't hear you yet, Aaron. Not quite, but
That's okay. We'll get him to give an update to the coalition maybe in the next meeting. But we're excited to welcome Aaron. Aaron is on the ground in the trenches in Colorado in the economic development department there and international relations department focusing on purchasing. So excited to collaborate and work with Aaron. Additionally, our next meeting is tomorrow, September 25th at 11 a.m. Pacific. I believe folks know how to sign up for our meetings. If not, please drop a note in the chat. We'll make sure to get you connected. We will also be having a presentation tomorrow from Hortus AI and a demo with regards to updates that are happening in the Industry Relations Committee. And we'll share some additional information about shareable contract initiative. So please join us. We're excited to work with you. Thanks again.
Emily, did we want to, maybe I just missed it. Did we want to say anything about the LB collab?
I think if Ryan wants to jump in, he was going to provide an update here.
Yeah, thanks, Albert. Thanks, Layla. Thanks, Emily. Welcome, Aaron, as well. Yeah, on the topic of procurement, I just wanted to share on behalf of the city of Long Beach, we have 3 active challenge-based RFPs. We're seeking innovative solutions for challenges around securing commercial corridors, making city services more accessible, and activating new public spaces. Albert and Layla were kind enough to feature these in the coalition newsletter. And as there are several people from civil society and from the vendor community here, I just wanted to take a moment to promote these in this space here. And I should have mentioned I'm Ryan Kurtzman. I'm the Technology Partnerships Officer for the City of Long Beach, California. also on the board of the coalition. Thanks. I just dropped some info in the chat too.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. And just a couple of things there, right? What Long Beach is doing is awesome. And we're seeing these types of innovation challenges pop up across the country. One, if this is something that you are in the process of doing and you need a place to start publicizing it so that it can reach more vendors, please use the coalition as a resource for that. We're here to make that connection possible because this is a space where we can hopefully help make that innovation a little better for you. Two, if you're thinking, I've never done this before, and I want to figure out how to do that for my city or my state or my county, please reach out. This is something that hopefully we can, as we're seeing more and more agencies do this, this is something that we can learn a little bit more and share broader with the coalition. Aaron, it's great to have you on as a co-chair. And lastly, Emily, like moving on to Partners of Public Good and staying with the coalition, like let this be a message to anyone else who's finding themselves switching jobs. Like the coalition has been around now for about 2 years. If you move from government to nonprofit to industry to whatever, that's okay. You get to still be part of the coalition. You still get to do amazing stuff. And frankly, having that type of community across the board is what gives us the ability to do the work that we do. So thank you again for all the work that's going on in the procurement committee and excited to see the next steps. I'm going to pass it off to, let's see if Tegan or Yar or Ethan are on the call and want to jump in on industry relations.
I'm here. Yar.
Hey, Yar.
My name is Yar. Whoever's new, I'm one of the co-chairs of Industry Relations Committee. Our mission is to create that bridge between the industry, the private sector, and the government side to gain insight from the vendors' experience and at the same time share the government's experience with the vendors so that there's better communication there, and then use that to help create AI more transparent and promote more transparent and responsible use of it. I feel like I've presented a couple of weeks ago. I guess it's been a month already. There have been some new things in our committee. So the new AI registry is still a work in progress. Tom Gilbert from our team has been, we started reaching out to other committees to have them test the beta version of the platform and gain some feedback from that as well. Some of the feedback we have gathered is already being incorporated and built or considered in next release. So one of the next steps we started reaching out to the committees, but that's still work in progress. CMU research project, they're wrapping up interviews already. So you're progressing into data analysis stage. So we're waiting to hear back from them on the insight they've gathered. Vendor focus group. That was an exciting project we've been working on. Our first meeting was on August 29th. We've gathered a lot of helpful insight from our vendors. I'd like to share some highlights from that meeting. There is 5 that I've highlighted so far. I'd like to share here briefly. So procurement timelines. Government procurement cycles often take a month or even years, while AI evolves in months. Vendors cited examples, so 6 months for state approvals on average versus 26 hours for some federal agency projects. So that was one of the risks and things they wanted to kind of bring across. Best practices in government engagement. So success often comes from partnership models where vendors help agencies learn through the pilots or collaborative deployments. Another one was overload of reviews. So some agencies often take an approach of over applying requirements, sort of kitchen sink RFPs, demanding extensive reviews even for simple use cases like chatbots. Misconceptions and gaps in understanding. So one of the highlights was confusion about AI types. Many assume that generative AI or model building, many assume that all AI is generative or model building, while most vendors deliver workflow solutions or guardrails on top of existing models. One of the suggestions to the government is avoid hype-driven pilots, focus on sustainable projects tied to measurable goals. So those are just a few highlights. I'm thinking we might publish a full report sometime in the near future. Our next meeting with the vendor focus group is tentatively planned for October 10th. Registry and fact sheets, we're still receiving a lot of those. New vendors, feel free to consider submitting. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll guide you through the process. We have a pretty good team when it comes to helping you on board. And our next committee meeting is October 3rd at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we've talked about improving our meetings and taking better advantage of that time and all the attendees that come. We do have new attendees joining every meeting or so. So we want to use that time better. So we're gathering ideas about that as well. Because in this phase, our group increased, or the committee attendance increased compared to the previous phase. So any helpful thoughts and ideas there would be very helpful. By anything that helps meet our OKRs for this phase.
Thank you so much, Yar. And really excited. Look, our industry relations committee is a great place for both our vendor partners to learn more about how they can engage and how they can be a part of this GovTech ecosystem. And also, it's a great space, as Yara is mentioning, for us as government staff to be able to learn more about our fact sheets and our registry. These are key components of answering the question of, I'm being introduced to or being potentially solicited 100 different AI tools. How do I know what each of them does? And how do I learn on how that can be applied into my work, into my city or into my state? The work that they're doing is directly in taking that information, reviewing it and providing that type of commentary and feedback so that both our industry and our agencies can do better together. So really excited for this. Again, they're going to be sharing some of the registry that they've been building in the cooperative purchase or the procurement committee meeting tomorrow. And then also they have their own committee meeting October 3rd. I want to pass it off to, let's see, Hemant, if you're on, or Carrie, or Nicole for our use cases.
I'm actually on. Jamie Wascalis here.
And
I
then
can take
Jamie
it.
comes in.
Hello, everybody. Jamie Wascalis, City of St. Paul. The Use Cases Committee is where the public sector comes together to explore and demo AI that's safe, responsible, and built to deliver real value for our communities. I want to say a huge thank to my co-chairs, Hemant, Carrie, Nicole, who have really been leading this along with Namrata. I have been absent for the past 2 months fighting cyber dragons here in St. Paul, but we are fully through getting through our recovery, and really excited to get back with this crew. So excited about the summit that's coming up. Please, y'all, if you're thinking about it, if you're unsure, just come. It's going to be the best conference you've attended this year. Really briefly, just some of the things we've been working on. We've been talking about some of the new use cases that have been coming through, things like AI-generated quizzes for fire training, routing of non-emergency police reports, AI-enhanced sewer inspections and damage assessments, and then also sentiment analysis of service desk tickets. So AI can help you, track and follow up with the people who might not be as enamored with your service. We are spinning up just a couple of temporary working groups to complete some deliverables for the end of the year. So we're focused first on Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat and Copilot. So many of us are Microsoft organizations, and we're really trying to find that value. Where should we be putting our resources? How should we be using these tools? And then permitting and licensing has also been a huge highlight. That's where we really see value in being able to get new businesses started in our communities. So we're working on some deliverables there. We might have a lightning talk. We might have a poster session at the summit, all TBD. Next slide, please. So our next use cases committee demo session is coming up on October 7th. That's where we partner with organizations to demo the value that they're bringing to our communities. We're likely to see AI enhanced traffic management, and also want to get potentially a couple of the partners who are focused on permitting and licensing. And then our next full use cases committee meeting is coming up on October 21st. One of the things we haven't been able to get to yet is a build a model workshop. That's something that I really want to see if we can get that in before the end of the year. So we'll make sure to let everyone know if that's coming up. Thanks to everybody so much for the work you're doing to support us, and hope to see you at our next meetings or at the summit.
So thank you so much, Jamie. Excited for all the work that's happening here, all the different new use cases and applications that we're seeing. For folks that are, I saw a few folks in the chat that they're interested in sharing some of their learnings that they're having with things like Copilot Studio. Would it be safe to say that we can point them, Jamie, to you and to the team here in the use cases committee?
Absolutely. I love your emails. Please reach out. Thank you.
Perfect. And thank you. And so glad to have you back. I'm glad that the dragon is being slayed. All right. Last but certainly not least, I want to pass it off to our data governance committee. If Artie or Sarah are on, or if Anthony, Jonathan, Brendan want to announce.
I can
Oh, Artie. Perfect.
Sarah's out, so I'll cover for her. I think we initially had our first deliverable that we've been working on for last few months, data sharing template, and we are here. It is ready. It was shared in the newsletter, so please download it from there and use it extensively throughout your organizations. This is really something that has received inputs from the entire community, and it's really has incorporated some of the AI considerations in the data sharing template. So highly encourage you all to adopt it. We're moving on to our second deliverable. We had our initial review of a document that we're working on for a data governance strategy template. I know a lot of agencies already have some sort of data governance in place or documentations in place, but really the goal here is to put some AI considerations in our data governance as we go through it. So we just started working on it. It's available for you all to look at if you have any ideas, any thoughts you want to throw in there. In that document, we'll be meeting next on October 20th. So if you are available and have some ideas, love to have you all there. That's it. Back to you, Albert.
Thank you so much, Artie. And a huge shout out to our data governance committee. The data sharing template is a great spot if you're an agency and you're thinking, I need to find a way to be able to share data with a university, with a vendor, with another agency, whether it be within your state, outside of your state. This is a great template to start that process if you don't have something already. Huge shout out again to both the committee chairs and the entire committee itself for working on this template and putting it out. All right, so look, folks, that just about does it, and we're just about at the top of the hour. Thank you so much for taking the time here to have this conversation with us. Really excited for all the great work that's happening. As we just shared, check out the newsletter, check out the data sharing template that just got released from the coalition. Sign up if you're interested in presenting an AI use case at our town hall. And in general, sign up for the coalition summit. If you're able to attend, if you're able to make it, we got a justification letter now. Would love to see you all there. If this is your first time, or you're just trying to get started with them or with the coalition, or you're trying to share this with someone else in your agency that's interested in the coalition, We've got our introductory video. We've got a whole YouTube channel that you can take a look at what's been going on in some of our recorded meetings. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time. Truly a joy. I'll see you at our next coalition-wide meeting on October 29th, 1 p.m. Pacific. Hopefully see you before then, too. Take care.
Thank you.